Can you believe it? Wellness Rebranded is turning 3. We're throwing a party.
And it's not just any party. We'll have a live recording of the podcast happening right there. So bring your questions, your stories, and maybe even your sass because you just might end up on the show.
It's going to be a night of community connection and a whole lot of fun. So mark your calendar for October 23rd. Grab your friends and come celebrate 3 years of rebranding wellness with us. We cannot wait to see you there.
Check out the link below for all the details.
Welcome to Wellness Rebranded, the podcast for women ready to redesign their relationship with food, fitness, and feelings.
We are a registered dietitian, a personal trainer, and a mental health therapist. 3 experts, 1 mission.
To help you break free from diet culture, hustle culture, and emotional burnout, let's redefine what wellness really means on your terms.
Halloween is around the corner, and today we are talking about how to navigate all the candy and holiday sweets that are going to be coming up the next couple of months. Elizabeth has thoughts.
How do we navigate candy?
You unwrap it and put it in your mouth.
Eat it, enjoy it.
Exactly.
Episode over.
Next.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about it. It's obviously a big thing for a lot of people. And how do we navigate or find the balance of enjoying the Halloween candy, but not making ourselves sick or feeling guilty or
Totally.
gross? So where should we start?
So can I share that when I was a kid, we were very restricted in candy. We weren't allowed to eat
Yes.
candy hardly ever. Like, we as a family would go out for treats occasionally, but we never had candy in the house. If we did, it was like health food candy,
Oh.
like whatever that even means.
Mhm.
And so Halloween would come around and Chris and I would go get like a pillowcase full of candy. And we would sit there and just open it and eat it and eat it and eat it until we were like massively sick.
Gorge
because
yourselves.
We never had access. And we knew that in a couple of days that candy would somehow mysteriously disappear.
Yeah.
So we were felt this pressure to eat as much as we can because it's leaving.
So I have a confession to make. When my kids were small, I didn't yet know about intuitive eating, and I was also very interested in nutrition. I wasn't yet a dietitian, and I definitely handled Halloween candy the way that I wouldn't today. I mean, they went trick-or-treating. They could eat whatever candy they wanted that night and maybe for a couple nights. But then I forget what we even called it. The Switch Witch maybe
The Switch Witch
came and took all of their candy and left a treat like the next morning or 2 mornings later or something. I don't know. And definitely, I would say in my house, my kids got mixed messages about candy because my husband and I gave different messages. It probably was just confusing, frankly. But anyway, I wouldn't do it that way now. And we're not really meaning to focus solely on kids. So perhaps we digress here at the outset. But
Okay, so hold on. 1 comment and 1 question.
okay.
The comment. Do you know how my Halloween candy situation went?
Mm-mm.
Did you even do
wanna know?
Halloween?
Exactly. We don't have Halloween.
Oh,
So
yeah.
no Halloween candy for me growing up.
Okay.
Question. How would you handle it today if your kids were young?
So today, if my kids were young, I would not really do the Switch Witch. I would talk about it a whole lot less, the candy. They would just go trick-or-treating. They would enjoy it. I would serve it, at various meals for a few days. If they wanted a piece, I would give it to them and not let it be a big deal. And I think after, a week or so, it probably would just fade away.
Mhm.
No one's going to be that overly obsessed with getting it if they're allowed to have it. And it doesn't feel like it's this super special restricted thing.
So would you have it available at all times, or do you have it in a place and then provide and offer them at different times of the day, or is it on a table? The whole bucket is on a table and just grab as you wish.
Yeah, good question. Maybe a little of both. Maybe I would leave it out for a few days and not really talk about it, and then maybe after, several days or something, I might put it up somewhere. But I think that's where you really have to know your child too a little bit. It is, it's the parent's job to decide what, when, and where, and the kid's job to decide whether and how much. But that means, if you have very young children, you don't have to be serving unlimited amounts of candy in order to not make it feel restricted.
Right.
So it's a balancing act.
So I have a 5-year-old, as you guys
Yeah.
know.
This is relevant for you,
So
I
this is
suppose.
extremely relevant to me. And he's grown up in an intuitive eating based household because when he was like a baby, I took Elizabeth's Raising Intuitive Eaters course, which was amazing. You've heard me talk about that before. And so last year for Halloween, he was super into it. The first year that he like really was into it. And we went to like a bunch of houses and he got, let's say, like a large Ziploc bag full of candy, maybe a little bit more than that. And I say we still have at least half of that Ziploc bag like in our pantry.
Yeah.
It's just completely lost interest in it.
So funny enough, I have a client who I started working with several years ago, apparently in the fall, or like summer in the fall. And she came to me, as many people do. She wanted to work on her relationship with food. She was really struggling between all or nothing behaviors and binging, and had done every diet and had counted everything under the sun. And she just was struggling. So she came in, we started working, and we worked through intuitive eating and healing her relationship with food. And she went trick-or-treating with her family. And somewhere in the mix, they picked up a full-size Snickers bar and she threw it in a bowl on her kitchen counter. And for like more than a year, she would tell me, "Hey, Elizabeth, everything's going really well and I feel so great about food." And that full-size Snickers bar is still sitting on the counter. It became almost like a marker for her, a symbol of how she had healed her relationship with food. And it's not in any way that she wasn't allowing herself to eat it. She was eating plenty of other candy. But she said I would look at it and just think like, I don't really need a full-size Snickers bar right now. If I want some chocolate or something, I'm going to get it differently. And it just became this thing that every so often she would say to me, "Yeah, it's still there." And every time I look at it, I feel really good about the work that we've done and how far I've come. And so anytime I think about Halloween candy, I think about that particular client.
I love that for her.
But that makes me think of something. Even if you have a full Snickers bar, you don't have to eat the whole thing in one sitting.
No,
right?
of course not.
Right. But because that's one thing here that I kind of learned in the US, or not, well, I don't know, because I came when I was really young, is that whatever you're eating, you have to finish it. Like we've
Yeah,
talked
that Clean
before,
Plate
right?
Club.
Yeah. And for my
Yeah.
kids, it's like that. They feel that if they open a bar, they have to eat the whole thing. There's no eating half and maybe save it for later, because also for kids is that instant gratification, and it's hard just to put a stop. But
It is, but also sometimes kids are really good at that. Like if you ever watch a kid, especially like a very young child who's not had unnecessary restrictions, you can hand them a cookie or a cupcake and they will take a few bites and then they put it down and they walk off. Most adults are going to eat the whole thing if it's in front of them. So it's interesting.
yeah.
The only thing I'm weird with is bananas. My son will open a banana and take like
Oh,
3
yeah.
bites and then be like, "I'm done." And I'm like,
Eat
well,
the
I don't
whole
want your
thing.
slobbery ass banana, dude.
So recently, you guys know I'm obsessed with Chobani pumpkin yogurt, even though they're not a sponsor. But Chobani, if you would like to sponsor us, here we are.
Here
we love
we
you.
are.
And recently my husband took one, which I'm like, okay, dude, I don't really buy those for you. They're hard to come by, but I guess I
Yes.
can share. But he didn't eat the whole thing. And that
Oh,
really
no.
did make me upset.
No.
So Maverick took one of my pumpkin spice yogurts, and I was like, "Oh my God, you better eat every lick
better
that bowl
savor it."
clean, sir." And he did.
Yeah.
But I was definitely trying to be cool about it when I did not feel cool
Can
at
I
all.
say I haven't tried them? So if one of you want to give me one to try, that would be very nice.
I will.
A very nice
I love you
gesture.
enough to share one of my pumpkin
Oof.
yogurts with you.
I ate my last one last night, and I'm a little low key stressed that I can't find them anymore.
Oh, but I told you where to get them. I'm
know.
not saying it here. If you really want to know, you can message me and I might share.
We
So-
gatekeep nothing except where to find those.
Where to find a pumpkin spice yogurt. That's true.
Okay.
So Halloween candy, holiday sweets in general, how do we navigate them? I think I have a lot of thoughts on this, but my first one is, of course, having and giving yourself permission to eat and enjoy them, which sounds obvious, but is really different than what happens in a lot of people's minds, right? We think of like, I'm not supposed to eat candy, or that's so bad, or that's ultra processed, or it has too much sugar. We can come up with a litany of reasons of why we shouldn't, quote unquote, eat them. And for many, many people, all that does is prime the pump for you to overeat and binge
Mhm.
them because we're hardwired to kind of want what feels off limits.
Mhm.
Totally.
Agreed.
Questions about that?
So going back to knowing for those listeners out there that have young kids, like I have an 11-year-old, and going back to what you said, know your own kid,
Mm-hmm.
and finding that balance of leaving it out there or just kind
Mm-hmm.
of monitor it a little bit makes perfect sense because my 15-year-old, that candy could be there for a while, but for my 11-year-old, it's like it's part of some things that she deals with that she gets so anxious that I don't know what's going to happen with the candy that we need to eat it all at once. And then
Mm.
the tummy ache comes. And then
Yeah.
because we're still learning,
Yes.
about
So yeah,
tuning
so
with
for a
it.
child like that, letting them know, hey, you don't have to be anxious about it. This is candy. It tastes good. It's not going anywhere. So we don't
Mhm.
have to eat it all at once. It's going to be here and we have permission to kind of eat it. But then also, I think whether you're talking about kids or adults, it is helpful to set yourself up for success, right? So I don't recommend that you go out trick or treating or take your kids out trick or treating, or frankly, put yourself in any situation where you're going to be in some smorgasbord of dessert buffet without making sure that you're well nourished to start. So when my
Mhm.
kids were little, I always made a pot of chili on Halloween and we would eat chili before we went out
Mhm.
trick or treating, mostly because I want dinner before I go
Right.
trick or treating.
Dude, so I did that last year. I made
Hmm.
chili and invited like my mom and brother over, and we made it like a big family thing. And it ended up being 80 degrees. So nobody wanted to eat it.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have to be chili. It can be anything, but like make sure you get dinner and a meal if you are out and about.
Yeah.
Even just think about when you're running errands, right? If you're running errands and you're starving and somebody hands you a candy bar, you're gonna eat it, right? The whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Or when
probably
you're
quickly.
hungry and you go grocery shopping, you probably
Yes.
choose different stuff than when you're not hungry. But
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about even giving ourselves permission because in my household, the next morning they want candy for breakfast. The morning after that,
So
they
I
want
would
candy
give it
for
to them.
exactly. So it's
But I would say and obviously it's individual, every household is different, all the usual disclaimers. But in generally speaking, I would say let's make breakfast and sure, you can have a little
Mhm.
bit of Halloween candy with your breakfast if you want it.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't let it replace breakfast.
Mhm.
That's how I do it too.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I think so far we've covered permission, right? Second thing we covered is nourishment and setting yourself up for success.
Mm.
Even if you're at the point of the intuitive eating process where you're trying to make peace with food and you're trying to give yourself that permission, you still want to set yourself up for success. Like you don't want to decide, hey, today I'm going to make peace with cupcakes. And today you maybe didn't eat lunch and you missed your snack and you had a massively stressful day at work. Well, that's probably not going to be very successful for you. You're vulnerable to overeating and binging it in that scenario. So far better served to do that a different day, right?
Totally.
And people are different. Some people kind of can just generally liberalize and say, okay, I'm going to give myself permission to eat all these foods. Some people have specific trigger or fear foods and they kind of need to work through them one by one, or at least a few of them one by one. And if it's that one by one scenario, then I still say, like, do it on a day when you're set up for success, not a day where you're particularly vulnerable. So that's like another thought that I have.
Raising kids isn't for the faint of heart, and sometimes you need straight talk from people who get it. I'm Dr. Melissa Wellner, a child adolescent psychiatrist and mom of 3.
And I'm Samantha Straub, licensed clinical counselor, educator, parenting coach, and mom of 2. Together, we host Parenting Shrink Wrapped, the podcast where we tackle the joys, the meltdowns, and the downright absurdities of raising children and teens. You'll get practical strategies that actually work, plus some laughs and solidarity along the way.
So, if you've ever thought, I love my kid, but wow, this is hard, come join us on Parenting Shrink Wrapped. Find us wherever you listen to your podcast or on YouTube. Now back to our friends at Wellness Rebranded.
I think we have to talk about the difference, which comes up every time you talk about intuitive eating, because it is very difficult for people to understand. The difference of having permission to eat it versus eating everything and everything.
What is the difference?
So the difference is intuitive eating, when it's implemented correctly, it's not a free fall. It doesn't just mean, oh, you have permission to eat candy, so eat a pound of candy all day, every day. That would not be intuitive eating because
Right.
for many reasons. One, probably wouldn't feel very good, right?
Right.
It's not going to fuel your body in the way that you would need it to be
Right.
fueled. And so if you're paying attention and have that attunement piece built, you're going to recognize, hey, that doesn't actually feel good. And also, it's not incorporating the rational thought of like, how do you want to take care of your health and your body?
Mm-hmm.
And if it is one of your goals to pay attention to nutrition and sort of, offering your body things it needs to thrive, then if you're not doing that, you're still not eating intuitively.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So back when we first started this podcast 3 years ago, I can't believe it's been 3 years.
Marty, who's going to join us? What's the date?
October 23rd.
Woohoo.
So we had a conversation with Maura, and I remember feeling like I was brand new to intuitive eating at that point. Like I had come to find intuitive eating kind of intuitively and not through like education.
Mhm.
So much of what we talked about on the podcast was like brand new to me.
Mhm.
I'm sure, Maria, you feel like this too.
Yeah.
And I always thought like, okay, so intuitive eating is just you eat whatever you want.
Mhm.
Like what if all you want is,
Mhm.
whatever, candy or food that isn't maybe the most nourishing. And there was like a light bulb moment for me when it was like, well, if you're truly practicing intuitive eating, you are going to want foods that make you feel good.
Mhm.
You are going to want foods that nourish you and that are adding gentle nutrition to your life. And it was like, we were like 20 episodes in before I like fully understood what we were talking about there. And I feel like that's what we're talking about here is, it doesn't really feel great to binge on candy. Like you eat that and it feels good in the moment. And then a few minutes later, maybe your stomach's not feeling so great.
Or binge on anything.
Or on
Forget about
anything.
candy. Anything. It could be binging on a bunch of salad, and it's not
Totally.
probably not gonna feel good either. Is that tuning in with
Yeah.
what feels good
Mhm.
and enjoyable, really?
Well, and also what is supportive for your body
Yeah.
and your mind. And it's also not that supportive to feel like, you've lost control and you're binging on something and then you're also feeling sick and terrible about it. So there's a lot of ways that people put hidden restrictions, like they think they're giving them. One thing that I wanted to say before we get that, remind me to circle back to this, is that idea of, but that's all I would ever want to eat if I give myself permission. That is almost always tells me that somebody has a very restrictive mindset about that particular food, right? If you're feeling like, but I would only ever eat French fries and chocolate if I gave myself permission, odds are you believe that French fries and chocolate are forbidden foods that you really shouldn't be eating and that you've tried to, limit in the past. And so anytime you have given yourself permission to eat them, you end up kind of overeating and binging them because you're coming at it from a place of restriction and heightened novelty. So that's another reason why the permission is so important. Maria, you look puzzled.
No, this makes perfect sense because remember you and I talked about this once, and my answer was I'll eat chocolate cake all
yes.
day long.
Uh-huh.
And it's two things. One, because I love a good chocolate cake.
Same, girl.
So
There's a
I
reason
would
we're
eat it all
friends.
day. But if I eat all day, yeah, I'll probably get a tummy ache or my tummy will react to it. But also I will feel that I'm not nourishing my body the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to die tomorrow, that's what I'm eating.
Chocolate cake.
Yeah, because I'm going to be dead by the
me
time
too.
I get the tummy ache. If I'm dying in 24
And also,
hours.
I think when you're talking about making peace with food or just kids and their relationship with food, having the opportunity to eat too much of it and feel bad, that's actually an important part of the process. Like, I think
Yes.
so often we want to shy away from that, right? And warn kids like, don't do that because you're going to get a stomach ache, or, I don't want to overeat it because it doesn't feel good, or because I know that that's bad for my health, or because it's going to make me gain weight. But actually being able to have the opportunity to practice how you eat it in a way that feels good, which means by the very nature of practicing that sometimes you're going to get it wrong, right? And especially when you're new at this and maybe you have a lifetime of restricting it and now you're trying something different, it's still going to feel overly appealing and exciting to eat those foods. There's probably going to be a while, we call it the honeymoon phase, where you're going to eat more of them that feels good. But I've watched it play out so many times with people that I'm working with that they get to a point where they're like, Elizabeth, this just doesn't feel good. And I'm like, bingo. Like now you're ready for the next part, which is like maybe your brain now understands that you can have those foods. You've been eating them and enjoying them. And now you're realizing, but wait a second, this doesn't feel good.
So this is a great point because it just happened in my household with my 11-year-old.
Okay.
She didn't go to school, or it was a Saturday, I can remember, and she ate a bunch of stuff during the day. The night comes and she wakes me up like at 1 a.m. Mom, I have a really bad tummy ache. And I'm like, sweetie, try going to the bathroom. And then I said, I think it's your body talking to you. Your tummy is telling you that maybe all those cheese balls mixed with oatmeal and then the milkshake and then all the stuff that you had in one day.
This is the meal of champions.
Yes. And it's like, maybe your tummy, all that combination, it was too much. So I think your tummy's talking to you and it's a good, and again, I'm only doing this, I agree with you, Tara, after I've learned what I've learned through Elizabeth.
Yes.
Because also before would be, you know what, that's what happened to you. I told you for eating all that junk. That's what happens. Right now it's like, I'm calm. And also because I wanted to go back to bed and I'm like, just go to the bathroom, whatever, your own thing. But it's like your tummy's talking and it's a good thing when we listen because then you can choose next time if you want to go through this again and it's worth it or not. Right.
And I think it's an important part, not just for kids, right? Like it's easier maybe to see, oh yeah, like it would be less helpful to berate my kid and do that I told you so thing versus what you did, which is, hey, I think your body's trying to tell you something. What do you think? Right. That's
like
clearly far more helpful. And yet, how many of us or people out there listening, when you've been in a situation where you've binged or overeaten or done something, that voice in your head isn't that same nurturing voice. It's like, you idiot, you dummy, I knew you didn't have control or you shouldn't have done it or, you're never going to get this right. Our voices are so much different.
I do that.
Yes. So I think it's just to put an important point on it of like, it's part, first of all, self-compassion always. Second, it's part of the process. Like if you were to look at it as like, hey, you're now learning how to eat those foods, how to eat the candy, how to eat the sweets in a way that feels good. You're not going to get it right every time.
Right.
You're practicing it. And it's just as important what you do when maybe it doesn't work out the way that you'd hoped.
And it's that conversation and that kind of like dating with your body. Like sometimes you even think
like
something is going to be great. And then your body's like, no, actually not anymore. Because it even sometimes changes.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like crab, for example. I love crab. But now when I eat it, it doesn't sit well. I think I'm like developing something. I don't know. So it's like that, that again,
dating my body. That's so unfortunate.
I know. It depends. It could be the whole crab, but not like on a dip, like on a crab cake or something. If it's too seasoned or something, my tummy doesn't love it.
That stinks.
I know.
So I want to know what y'all's favorite Halloween candy is.
Oh, duh. Do you really need to ask me?
I feel like I already know you.
Yes.
What is it?
I feel like anyone who knows me knows what my favorite Halloween candy
Okay,
is.
I don't know you.
Peanut butter cups.
It's definitely peanut butter cups.
Okay.
But dark chocolate. And really, it's not Halloween candy because I'm an especially big fan of the Trader Joe's ones, which most people aren't giving out for Halloween, sadly.
Which ones are those?
The Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
Okay, I don't like
What's
peanut
your
butter,
favorite,
so-
Maria?
Kit Kat.
Ooh, Kit Kat. That's
I
a good
love
one.
Kit Kats.
Kit Kats are good.
And wait, you know what's my favorite candy overall, though?
What?
Butterfingers.
Oh, I love a Butterfinger
really?
too.
I don't like Butterfingers by themselves, but I do like a Butterfinger Blizzard.
Oh, I like that too.
Okay.
I like fresh seasonal produce, like Reese's pumpkins.
What? What?
What is
Reese's peanut butter cups, right, are great, but any Reese's that's in like a shape other than the cup is exponentially more delicious
Oh, I
than the cup.
disagree. I feel like when they start messing with the shape, the proportions get
Where
messed
did you
up.
even
Yes,
find
that's why I like
ones
it.
with shape?
Oh.
I've never even seen a Reese's cup in another
In the
shape.
grocery store, dude. So like, or in this gas stations and stuff, they sell like Reese's pumpkins at Halloween.
Okay.
And like at Christmas, they sell Christmas trees. And at Easter, they sell Easter eggs.
Oh,
So you
okay.
cannot get them all the time. So when they're here, I do feel like, oh my God, it's Reese's pumpkin season. And
Okay.
usually I buy a couple.
All right.
They are exponentially more delicious than the regular kind.
So now you
in my
know,
opinion.
if you're listening and you're in Annapolis and you see one of those, buy one for Tara. Give it to her next time. It'll make her happy.
Yes, I will be grateful.
In a shape. Reese's cups.
I feel like we should leave people with some takeaways of sort of what that means for Halloween. What are your takeaways, ladies?
So my takeaway is to enjoy the holiday
Mm-hmm.
without guilt
Mm-hmm.
and nourish while eating candy.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I'm not like putting it on a pedestal and having it be just this like special treat that's amazing. It's also, we're going to eat the candy with whatever food we were normally eating.
Yeah, and this is super nuanced, and someone who's new to intuitive eating will struggle with this, but someone who's been at it for a while might be ready for it, which is permission to eat it also means permission to not eat it. It's
Yeah,
right.
it's okay to say, I'm not going to have that thing right
Mhm.
now because I've already had a lot of sweets today,
Mhm.
or it's not going to feel very good, or I just would prefer to, eat something that is a little more nourishing. So you kind of got to know where you are in the journey. Because, like I said, that's going to be harder in the beginning.
Mhm.
But if you've been at it for a while and that's never occurred to you, because there's a conversation I have with clients frequently, you also have permission not to eat it. What's your takeaways, Maria?
My takeaway is actually what I said. It's like I love the fact that you can be in constant dating with your body, like getting to know it and offering that self-compassion that some days is going to go as planned, other days you're going to find new information, or another other days is not going to go as planned, and that's okay because it's a practice. It's not something that is set there, and it's an ongoing dating.
Yeah. And usually when you're dating, you want to kind of like impress that person and treat them well, right?
Yeah, and be understanding and yeah.
All the things. I like that analogy. I've not
Mhm.
thought about it, but I'm
I like it too.
going to have to develop it and credit you.
Deal. Your takeaway, Elizabeth?
Oh, my takeaway is, gosh, I feel like I did most of the talking.
Her takeaway is that she talked a lot. But
She's
that's
the
okay.
smart one.
You know your stuff, Elizabeth. You really do know your stuff. That is
why,
the
thank you.
truth. And you believe in it, and that's why you're so good at helping other people. So if another takeaway is, if you like this episode, like it, share it. But also, if you want to know more, schedule your appointment with Elizabeth. Find out more about intuitive eating. I mean, even if it's understanding it a little bit better, just being curious about what else is out there that you can learn, so you can actually schedule a call with Elizabeth and learn more and start this journey of what intuitive eating is or could look like.
Well, thank you for that vote of confidence. You can schedule a free consultation call with me on my website. And also, I take insurance.
There you
So,
go.
There you go.
This was a great conversation. We love having these conversations with you. Stay in touch, share this episode, like it, follow us on Instagram at Wellness Rebranded. Share with friends.
Yeah, if you have friends,
with
they
your
have
mom.
kids, they need to hear this episode. Share
Yes,
it.
kids of all ages. And we'll talk to you on the next episode. Thank you for listening. If you want to connect with me outside of this podcast, you can find me on Instagram at coaching_therapist.
I'm Elizabeth. You can find me at Elizabeth Harris Nutrition or in my Facebook group, Health and Healing with Intuitive Eating.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Tara De Leon Fitness. Guys, if you loved this episode or any of our other episodes, we would love it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcast. It really, really helps us get the non-diet word out to the rest of the world. So please leave us a review.
Yes, thank you.